Here today for this gun buyback event hosted by Commissioner Lesley Briones with Harris County Precinct 4 in partnership with the City of Houston, Mayor Sylvester Turner, and Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. We will hear from the following speakers in the following order: Commissioner Lesley Briones, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, Assistant Chief Ernest Garcia of Houston Police Department, and Sanjay Ramabhadran, Chair of the Metro Board of Directors. Now, please help me welcome Commissioner Lesley Briones.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. I am just moved and grateful for this amazing partnership between the city, the county, and our federal government, our law enforcement agencies. There's almost 100 people here volunteering and serving this gun buyback today. So first, just to start, can we please give a round of applause to all of our law enforcement officers here from HPD, from the Sheriff's Office. Thank you always for your service and your sacrifice and everything you do to keep our community safe. Thank you to our Mayor, Sylvester Turner, our Congresswoman, Lizzie Fletcher, our Harris County Sheriff, Ed Gonzalez, Houston Police Department Chief Troy Finner, all of his team, and Assistant Chief Garcia is here. Our Fire Chief, Peña, Sanjay Ram, our Chair of Metro, our Asian American Officers Association, who have been critical in putting on today, as well as sponsoring all of the food and beverages we're enjoying. Thank you. The Spring Branch Management District as well, thank them. And President Biden and the Biden administration, as well as Congresswoman Fletcher and our local congressional delegation, because but for the federal ARPA funds, today would not be happening. So thank you. We also have one of our amazing Houston City Council members, Abby Kamen, here. And all of the partner organizations that are here. But again, a special thanks to all of the law enforcement officers and all of the county and city team members who are here today. And I'm looking around with just great joy and gratitude. The bottom line is that Houston and Harris County are taking action. Everybody in our community deserves to be safe and deserves a life free of gun violence. And I take this extremely seriously, not only as one of your Harris County commissioners, but as a mom of 3 little girls and as a former public school teacher who lost students to violence. And I've also been the victim of crime several times, and my husband and his family have lost family members to gun violence. So this is deeply personal to me on many levels. And we know that not one gun buyback event or any policy measure for that matter is the solution. There is no one solution. But our philosophy is we're going to take action, and we're going to keep taking action to continue the progress we are making to make our community even safer. So today's gun buyback event, which is the 5th gun buyback event in our region, is one way that we are taking action. This is an event for anybody in our community, and I hope anyone who's watching will join us. We will be here until noon. This is a voluntary gun buyback. If you have unwanted guns at home, please bring them here and you will get a gift card. No questions asked. And I'm extremely excited because not only are we buying back the guns, but we have gun safes and gun locks that we are giving away for free. So for the guns that you are keeping and want to keep at home, this will help drive additional safety measures in our community. And this is particularly important because we know that approximately 80% of youth suicides occur because of access to a weapon at home. This is important because we know that over 80% of school shootings occur with the individual getting the gun from their home or a friend's home. So the gun safes and the gun locks really are going to help move the needle in terms of safety. I want Harris County and Houston to be leading on everything that is good. But we also have to be really frank and honest when we're leading in things that are not good. One of the things that Harris County, unfortunately, is leading in is intimate partner homicide rates. And of 96% of those individuals who were killed with a firearm. And we know that having a firearm in the home makes homicide in these domestic incidents 500% more likely. So again, if you're listening and you have a firearm at home that you may want to get rid of, we are here for you, and you can get a gift card just in time for the holidays, as well as a safe and a lock. We have a shared commitment as the city, county, state, and federal delegation. But the truth is, we need the community. This is a partnership, all hands on deck effort. So thank you for everything that the community does in partnership to help keep our community safe. Very briefly in Spanish. Buenos días, soy la comisionada Lesley Briones, aquí muy agradecida con el alcalde Sylvester Turner de la ciudad de Houston, el alguacil Gonzalez del condado Jerez, la Asociación de Oficiales Asiático-Americanos, el jefe Troy Finner y el Departamento de Policía de Houston, el Departamento de Bomberos de Houston, con el jefe Peña, que está aquí con nosotros, Sanjay Ram, el presidente de Metro, el Distrito de Administración de Spring Branch, y también el Congresswoman Fletcher, que está aquí representando nuestra delegación federal, y gracias también al presidente Biden por los fondos para hacer hoy posible. Estamos aquí en esta recompra de armas, y si ustedes están escuchando, por favor, acompáñanos. Vamos a estar aquí hasta mediodía. Pueden regresar armas que ya no quieren y pueden recibir una tarjeta de regalo. No habrá preguntas. Y también tenemos, y perdón, no sé cómo decirlos en español, gun safes and gun locks. Estos seguros para ustedes y sus familias, que es sumamente importante. Y es importante porque nosotros sabemos que más que 80% de los suicidios de nuestros jóvenes son porque hay una arma que consiguen en la casa. También sabemos que más que 80% de los individuos en nuestras escuelas, en los tiriteos, reciben esas armas, lo que consiguen en la casa. Y eso también estamos aquí con estos seguros para ayudar a la seguridad de nuestra comunidad. Porque todas las personas en nuestra comunidad merecen vivir una vida libre de violencia armada. Y como mamá de 3 hijas, y también fui maestra, y he perdido estudiantes y familiares porque la violencia de armas. Y todos aquí merecemos una vida segura. Y recompras sabemos que no es la solución, pero estamos tomando acción. Y con varias acciones juntos, con la ciudad, con el gobierno federal, con el condado, podemos mejorar la seguridad de la comunidad. Pero necesitamos todos ustedes que están escuchando, y por favor acompáñanos hoy hasta mediodía. Estamos aquí en el Metro Park Ride de Westchase. Así que muchas gracias por su participación y su apoyo, y con eso Ahora vamos a oír del alcalde, Mayor Turner. Thank you again for your partnership and for being here. And our next speaker is Houston Mayor Turner.
Look, let me start off by again acknowledging all of the partners who are here, and from the federal level and all the way down. Look, I'm so proud of the collaboration that's taking place. But I want to start off by thanking Commissioner Lesley Briones, because, yeah, please give it up to Commissioner Lesley Briones. She wanted to see that this gun by event take place, and she and her team have just been incredible. And so I want to thank her. She's only been a commissioner for about a year, and just, I mean, when you talk about making things happen, she is making things happen. So I am so incredibly proud. I'm not in her precinct, but congratulations and thank you for your leadership and what's taking place. And in large part because of her, we're all here today together. And I certainly want to start off, secondly, by acknowledging Congresswoman Fletcher, because this is the 5th gun buyback program. And the monies that are being used to fund all 5 are dollars coming from ARPA on the federal level. So again, to President Biden, thank you. To our congressional leaders, thank you. And Congresswoman Fletcher, you have been right there on the front line. So please give it up to the Congresswoman. And because of the dollars that are being made available, we are able to collaborate very closely with law enforcement on so many multiple levels. The Sheriff Department has just been incredibly supportive. And so, Sheriff Gonzalez, thank you so very much, for your leadership. I want to thank Chief Fenner, and today represented by Assistant Chief Garcia. And yeah, give it up to them. But the point is that our law enforcement officers are on the front line. And quite frankly, there are more guns out there in the hands of people than the people themselves that exist within Houston and Harris County. So the fact that law enforcement has been here, and let me tell you, when you have the gun buybacks, and this is the 5th one, but up to number 4, we've collected about 4,000 guns from these gun buyback programs. It's the police department of Houston and the sheriff department that's having to store them, get rid of them, take a look at them. So their operation is just incredible. So I certainly want to thank them for making this program successful. I want to thank Cayman. She's been very, very strong advocate for gun locks and gun safe. I mean, that's her DNA, and so I want to give her credit for that. And of course, it's taking place because HPD will tell you about 3,000 guns are taken out of people's cars on an annual basis. There are a lot of guns in people's homes, quite frankly, that people are using. And so these gun safes and gun locks, in addition to the gun buyback program, working collaboratively makes a big difference. This is our 2nd time at the Metro Westchase location. And so I want to thank Metro Sanjay Ram for his leadership. And this is an excellent spot. I want to say Metro Westchase location. You still have time to come. We'll be here until noon. But this is it's an incredible operation. Again, to Commissioner Lesley Briones from my team is telling me, highly efficient, Sheriff. It's highly efficient. Unlike the very first one, people were wrapped around waiting a long time, multiple lines, but we have learned from each other. So this 5th one is highly efficient. And so please come out to the Metro Westchase location. And then I certainly want to thank my team, Bill Kelly, Christine Nowak, and the whole team for their efforts and for their working. So thank you all so very much. Lastly, what I will say, people will say, well, is it preventing crimes? What I can tell you, collaboratively, with all of our strategies, more sheriff deputies, more police officers, people on the street, utilizing greater technology, the gun buyback programs, the safe locks, all of these efforts working collaboratively are working. The numbers are down. The numbers are trending in the right direction. With regards to murder, 20% less in Houston than a year ago. Violent crime is down. Nonviolent crime is down. So collaboratively, I won't try to single out any one element, but what I will say, when we utilize every tool in our toolbox on behalf of the people that we serve, we do get positive results. Now, no one claims success until there's no domestic abuse, nobody dying from violence, no homicides, no burglaries, no robberies. That's the goal. But we are moving in that direction. But what I will say, that's unlike many places throughout the country, the collaboration between our congressional partners, the county, the city, law enforcement, the fire department, because I don't want to leave out the fire department. You can't find a better fire chief anywhere in the country than Chief Pena, so I want to thank him. And they've always been supportive. They've always been supportive. The collaboration that exists in this region is incredible. And you don't find that in every place. So certainly I want to thank everyone. But again, let me stop where I started. Commissioner Lesley Briones, thank you for your leadership and thank you for what's happening out here today. I'll reserve my comments in Spanish until the until the very, very end. Okay. You know, so I will come back. But for right now, let me just say hi to you. So let me get back over here.
And I really just want to pick up on the theme that we've heard from Mayor Turner. And I, too, want to start my remarks by thanking the incredible commissioner for Harris County Precinct 4, Lesley Briones. Thank you for bringing us all together today. Thank you for making this happen. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment to our community. Talk about hitting the ground running. Commissioner Briones is just such a shining example of what happens when we elect good people who care about the people they represent and come ready to work and ready to be a partner. And that theme that Mayor Turner touched on, that Commissioner Briones touched on, is really what I want to focus on, because I'm not sure that people realize how special the relationship among the people here and the leaders of this community is. And I always say when I go to Washington that we do things so well in Houston and Harris County because we work together, because we know each other, we care about each other, we try to understand how we can work together most effectively for the people we represent. And that's what you're seeing this morning. And so I am incredibly grateful to everyone gathered here. Mayor Turner, Council Member Kamen, of course, Sheriff Gonzalez, and of course, Chief Pena, as well as all of the law enforcement officers who are here, Chief Finner, who's not here, but Assistant Chief Garcia, who's here on his behalf, and all the officers who are here, who are working and who are spending their time making our community safer every single day. And I'm glad to have a small part in doing that by voting for the American Rescue Plan Act. And I think it's really important to remember that, too, that this was not automatic in the first place. The American Rescue Plan Act, to bring these desperately needed funds back to our community during the pandemic, passed by the thinnest of margins. But it was important. The other thing is those funds came back to Houston and Harris County to be spent as the county and the city saw fit. And the priority for our county and our city is to keep our communities safe. And of course, that's the first responsibility of government. That is what we all come together to do. And that's what we've seen, the commitment to the One Safe Houston program and to programs that are going to help make our community stronger, closer, and safer. And that's what we see this morning with this incredible 5th gun buyback program. Of course, the efficiencies that we've learned from the first 4, but also understanding that there is no one single answer. There's no one thing that we can do. But there are a lot of things that we can do. And when we bring them all together, we'll make our communities safer. And so this gun buyback is an important part of it. In Congress, we have worked time and again to pass background check laws, to pass common sense gun safety measures that will keep our communities safer, that we know from the data delivers results. And we heard some of that this morning from Commissioner Briones and from Mayor Turner, and I'm sure we will hear more, just in terms of access to firearms. So there's so many things that we can do as individuals and as a community, whether it's legislative or otherwise, to keep our communities safe. And I do want to point out that one good thing we did in the last Congress, the 117th Congress, in addition to the American Rescue Plan Act, we passed the first gun safety legislation in Congress in nearly 3 decades. With the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, that we have worked on reducing the threat of gun violence through all kinds of different channels, including funding for schools, funding for other things that we can do to keep our communities safe. And we still have a lot of work to do. That was a first step. There's so much more that we can do, and I look forward to working with my colleagues in the Congress to continue the important work of addressing gun violence. This is one of the #1 things that I've heard since I took office 5 years ago from people across this community who are concerned about their kids in schools, who are concerned about going to places of worship, who are concerned about going to places of community, whether it's concerts or events, that they want and they deserve to feel safe.
Violence is so prevalent, and I want to make sure we're recognizing a very key partner in that fight, and that's the Houston Area Women's Center. And Sonia Corrales is here. We've got to continue to do everything we can, because having that access to that farm makes that situation much, much more a higher chance of it ending up in a fatal situation. It's our frontline responders that are having to respond to those suicides, those murder-suicides that are still far too prevalent here in our community, and we're facing an epidemic of domestic violence. And so we want to continue to do that. But this is also about sharing information about responsible gun ownership. The Houston Police Department, in collaboration with Councilmember Kamen, are providing gun safes to the community here today. The Sheriff's Office has 1,000 gun locks that we'll be providing to the community. And so these are all very key, important pieces in the fight against gun violence in our community. And as the mayor alluded to, and Commissioner Briones, there's not one single thing that we could do to combat this, but we're taking action, and this is one more positive step that we're doing. We're not staying idle. We're moving the needle in a positive direction, and our numbers are reflecting that things are moving in the right direction when it comes to gun violence in our community. And as the mayor alluded to as well, this is now the 5th one, and things have been learned along the way. And thanks to the hard work of all the individuals and volunteers that are working here today, this event is going very, very efficiently. Before the first hour was complete, more than 220 weapons, firearms were already collected. Over 220 the first hour, and nobody's here with a long wait. We're moving things. So we're wanting to invite the public receiving that gift card. It's perfect timing with the holidays right around the corner. Some extra cash comes in handy. So take advantage of that opportunity. We'll be out here till 12. Things are going by very smoothly, and we hope to see you out here. Briefly in Spanish, queremos invitar a nuestro público que nos acompañe. Vamos a estar aquí hasta las 12. Quiero agradecer a la comisionadora Lesley Briones y al alcalde Turner y todos los compañeros que se encuentran aquí. Esta es una opción para la comunidad. Si quieren entregar armas que ya no están utilizando o que tal vez quieren buscar de una manera segura de cómo entregarlas, esta es una oportunidad de que lo puedan hacer. Estamos aquí en el Westchase Center del Metro Park and Ride en la calle Harwin. Vamos a estar aquí hasta las 12. Tenemos una situación muy eficaz en este momento donde no hay largas esperas para entregar sus armas, y se les puede entregar una tarjeta de compras hasta de $250 de valor. Entonces, en estos días festivos, eso es algo que le puede ayudar a la comunidad, y también nos ayuda a reducir crimen en la comunidad. Muchas veces estas son armas de que tal vez han tenido en su casa que nadie está utilizando, tal vez alguien falleció que era el dueño de las armas y las puede entregar en una manera segura. También estamos entregando cajas fuertes para alzar esas armas en una manera segura, y también tenemos entregando candados para protección, para que no se disparen esas armas en una manera tan fácil, para protección en sus casas. Entonces queremos invitar a todos y queremos agradecer a todas las personas que están colaborando aquí esta mañana, y esperamos que sea un día exitoso. En la primera hora pudimos ya recuperar más de 220 armas que se entregaron esta mañana. Entonces quiero agradecerle a todos por una situación tan eficaz e importante que estamos llevando a cabo esta mañana. Y ahora quiero introducir a una persona muy importante en nuestra comunidad, una gran líder. I want to introduce a very important and impactful and influential leader in our community, someone that's stood strong in the fight against gun violence and has been a major advocate for public safety in our community. I want to welcome A.B. Kamen, a council member for District C, the City of Houston.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sheriff. And Commissioner Briones, as always, your partnership is an example of what good government across this country should be and is. I wanted to read, yes. I wanted to share a quick statistic because we've heard about the impacts of firearms in domestic violence situations where a gun makes it 5 times more lethal. And again, thank you to Hawk for being here. We have heard of the importance of how to dispose of firearms safely for those that may not want them anymore. You may have inherited them, you may have found them, and you want a safe way to dispose of them. But here's a startling number for you as well. If you have a child between the age of 5 and 14 years old and there is a gun in the home, roughly 3 in 4 of those children knows where the firearm is stored, and more than 1 in 5 of those children have actually handled the gun in their home without their parents' knowledge. And behind me stands our incredible law enforcement partners from the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's office, and every single one of them has had to respond to a scene where a child has obtained a firearm and tragedy has hit that family. And no parent wants that. So all of these are the reasons why today we are here under Commissioner Briones' leadership and this partnership to ask residents who want to dispose of their firearms to do so safely. And you heard from our Congresswoman, who is an incredible partner advocating at the federal level, thank you, Congresswoman Fletcher, about regulations. And when you don't dispose of them through safe gun buybacks like this, where it is law enforcement handling those firearms, they can either end up on the streets or they can end up in pawn shops that are highly unregulated. There are ways in which guns are ending back up on our streets as well. So bringing them here today is one of the ways that each one of us can do our part to address gun violence by making sure guns do not fall into the wrong hands. I also wanted to, again, Mayor, I keep saying this is going to be one of my last times with you, and this may be the last gun buyback, but all of this started with memos to you saying, what can each one of us do? And you said, we're going to step up and also do gun buybacks. So thank you for stepping up. Even when it wasn't popular with some other elected officials. But we have seen the community respond, and we have seen the true leadership in our county, again, at the county level, at the congressional level, at the city level, to get this done. So I am not as eloquent in weaving together all of the thank yous that are owed for this event, but whether it's Commissioner, your staff, and there's a lot that goes into the logistics. Sheriff, your team for taking charge on this. The fire department, Chief Pena,
Chair, Metro is always a partner. So thank you, HPD and Mayor Turner. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone, but again, my message, and I appreciate media being here because there's a lot of education that comes with how to dispose of firearms safely. And no, we will not see necessarily the direct correlation when it comes to crime statistics because it's prevention. We won't know how many hundreds of children's lives or families' lives were saved because we are preventing it. And that is much more important than any single thing we can do. So again, thank you, Commissioner, for stepping up.
Good morning, everybody. So thank you very much for allowing me to be here representing the Houston Police Department on the behalf of Police Chief Troy Finner. First of all, thank Mayor Turner, Precinct 4 Commissioner Lesley Briones, Harris County Sheriff's Office for being such key partners in addressing gun safety, along with all our other key partners on the federal level as well as the state level and the local level. I'll also be remiss if I didn't thank our partners from the Spring Branch Management District, and for that matter, all the management districts around the area for providing money, in this case, to provide thousands of portable gun safes, as you see here, to our community as we do this gun buyback event this afternoon. So yes. And Mayor, I heard you earlier talking about guns that have been stolen from vehicles. That is something that the police department takes very seriously, and I'm here to report this morning. Last year we had 4,400 stolen guns from vehicles, as that was last year. As September 30th of this year, we've had 2,870 stolen guns from vehicles. That's an 11% decrease. So I can also stand before you here this morning and tell you that that trend is continuing to trend down as of this year. As of June of this year, we've seen year-to-year date numbers of that number continue to trend downwards. So it is continuing to work. Mayor Turner, appreciate your commitment to combating violent crime in addition to the funds provided to make this one of these things, making it positive since with the guns stolen from the vehicles. With the guns stolen from vehicles going down, that means that the criminals that are stealing these guns have less opportunity to give to other criminals in the commission of crimes, in particular violent crimes. So that is a good stat that we have going, and it's trending downwards. Programs like these speak to the collaboration between the city, the county, community organizations, and more importantly, the public. We need to show you ways and give you tools that allow you to keep yourselves and your loved ones safe. We know that this is a buyback event, and that can go a long way to keeping our communities and our families safe. But that doesn't mean that all the guns that are here are the one, or that are in families' homes are being brought here. And it doesn't mean that children aren't exposed or your families aren't exposed to those guns that may be in your family's homes and your friends' homes. That's why the Houston Police Department here today, along with this gun buyback, we have officers from the Northwest Division as well as the West Side Patrol Divisions, and they're here to distribute 400 gun safes, as we said here earlier, which are going to be these. Again, these gun safes have been graciously purchased by the Spring Branch Management District. These gun safes, while not a permanent storage solution, are a start to keeping dangerous weapons away from our criminals and from our families and from our children. Keep your weapons safe. Keep them locked in a safe. Use gun locks and ensure that our children and families are safe. We are handing out information along with these gun safes to each and every one of you, and that information on gun safety is also available on our Houston Police website at houstonpolice.org. So again, together, we can continue to make Houston a safer city, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by first thanking Commissioner Lesley Briones for inviting us to join this conference. I've known the Commissioner for about 10 years, and we've collaborated on many things, but it was pretty obvious from the first time I met her that she cared about her community, wanted to think out of the box, and get things done, and get things done quickly. So it's always a pleasure to join Mayor Turner, Congresswoman Fletcher, Councilmember Kamen, Chief Pena, Sheriff Gonzalez, Assistant Chief Garcia, and all of you all this morning as Metro gets ready to host the 5th gun buyback program at the Westchase Park Ride. The last time I believe we hosted it at this location, the logistics worked so well, we set a record for the number of guns that were bought back, and we're glad to host it again at the Westchase Park Ride. And if I might add, this is going to be the western end of the University Bus Rapid Transit Corridor, a 25-mile transformational project for our region. And we'll always be thankful for the federal support to get it done. At Metro, safety is a top priority, but we can't get this done by ourselves. We understand that it takes partnerships and collaboration to see results. For over 40 years, the Metro Police Department has been providing quality policing services, not just to keep the transit system safe, but also to improve mobility across the region. Now, if you think about it, public safety starts with the community. And I want to thank the Metro team members and all of law enforcement for all of the logistics to facilitate this program today. We understand the effectiveness of community partnerships, and that's why we are here to do our part to support our friends at the county, at the sheriff's office, at the city, members of Congress, the fire department, HPD, because fighting crime takes teamwork, and we are, and I am proud to be part of this team. With that, let me make brief remarks in Spanish, but on second thoughts, I shouldn't compete with the mayor's fluency in the language, so I'll step back.
Thank you to all of our partners. Can we give them another round of applause, please? This is a team effort, and it really is all hands on deck. But the most critical member of this team is you, the public. So I hope you'll join us. We have over 2 hours left of this 5th gun buyback. And I want to report, we just got the numbers. In the first hour and a half, from 8 a.m. to 9:30, we had 272 firearms collected. We had 814 gift cards distributed, totaling $40,700. So we have more gift cards just in time for the holidays. We have more gun locks and gun safes, and we invite you to join us. And before we open it up for questions, what keeps me up at night is the safety of my 3 little girls and all of the children here in Harris County. And this is one of the actions we're taking. This is one way we can prevent crime. So thank you for this federal investment. Whether we will never know how many youth suicides returning these guns may have prevented. We will never know exactly how many school shootings in the region we may have prevented. We will never know how many domestic violence, intimate partner homicides we may have prevented. But we are preventing crime in partnership with the community. And so thank you. Please come out and join us. And with that, we are opening it up for questions. And the brilliant, bold Sion Rhodes will be helping to answer any questions the audience may have and tagging the appropriate person. So thank you, Ms. Rhodes.
Thank you, Commissioner. And with that, we do open the floor to any questions from the press in attendance. No questions. Thank you all for coming today. And we are so glad that you are here helping us get out the message. Again, we are here at the Westchase Metro Park and Ride until noon, so please come out. Thank you.